Okay, here we go. Good evening, London! How's everybody doing today? Whee! My name's Frank Turner. Thanks everybody for coming out today. It's good to see you all here. There's something that's particularly nice about a show being sold out in advance. It makes me feel like I've achieved something with my life. Something I can write down and take to my mother and say, look, I've done something constructive. Anyway, what am I even talking about? I'm going to play some folk songs, and I'm going to start with a new song because I feel like it. I played a festival at the start of this summer in London called Wireless Festival. And at the backstage at Wireless Festival, they had a porter cabin run by a company called Bedheads that was giving out free angular haircuts to anybody in a band. And I thought to myself, that right there, in a very neat, poetic fashion, is everything that's wrong with the fucking music industry. And for that matter, the world. So rather than doing anything effective about it, I wrote a song. This song's called I Knew Prufrock Before I Got Famous, and it goes like this. Let's begin at the beginning. We're lovers and we're losers. We're heroes and we're pioneers, and we're beggars and we're choosers. We're skirting round the edges of the ideal demographic. We're almost on the guest list, but we're always stuck in traffic. We've watched our close associates up and play their parts. They're chatting up the it girls and they're tearing up the charts, while we were paying with coppers to get our rounds in at the bar. We're the C-team, we're the almost famous old friends of the stars. Justin is the last of the great romantic poets, and he's the only one among us who is ever gonna make it. And we planned a revolution from a cheap Southampton bistro. I don't remember details, but there were English boys with banjos. Jay is our St. George, he's standing on a wooden chair, and he sings songs and he slays dragons, and he's losing all his hair. And Adam is the resurrected spirit of Graham Parsons, in plaid instead of rhinestone, and living in South London. And no one's really clear about Tommy's job description. It's pretty clear he's vital to the whole damn operation. And Dave Danger smiles at strangers, treats the safest girl I know. And Zoe and Hearts will scamper off to victory in the city we call home. We won't change our ways. We will proud remain. When the glory fades, when the glory fades, yeah, I'm sick and tired of people who are living on the B-list. Yeah, they're waiting to be famous, and they're wondering why they do this. And I know I'm not the one who is habitually optimistic, but I'm the one who's got the microphone here, so just remember this. Yeah, well, life is about love, lost minutes and lost evenings, about fire in our bellies and about furtive little feelings, and the aching amplitudes that set our needles all are flickering, and they help us with remembering that the only thing that's left to do is live. Yeah, the only thing that's left to do is live. After all of the loving and the losing of the heroes and the pioneers, the only thing that's left to do is get another round in at the bar. Thanks. So, you behaved well. This is one you'll know. I'd love it very much if you join in with me. I woke up on a sofa in an unfamiliar house, surrounded by sleeping folks that I didn't know. Failing to find my friends, I decided that it was clearly time to go. So I made my way out of the door as quietly as I could. There was no one there I knew to say goodbye. Squinting in the sadly sobering sunshine of the Sunday morning light. All together now. As I started the night with all my friends and I ended up alone. Oh yes, I started out so happy. Now I'm hungover and down. It was about then that I realized I was halfway through the best years of my life. So I scanned the local landmarks trying to find out where I was, or maybe even find a bus back home. I was longing for a shower, for clean sheets and a charger for my phone. Suddenly it hit me that I got paid this Friday last, and so I rifled through my pockets for some change. All I found was a packet of broken cigarettes and a sinking sense of shame. 'Cause I started the night with all my friends and I ended up alone. Oh yes, I started out so happy. Now I'm hungover and down. It was about then that I realized I was halfway through the best years of my life. And I had to ask myself, well, is it really worth it? Is any of this worth it? Well, all things are perfect, but I've yet to figure out a better way to spend my time. Too many suits and dirty looks made me rack my brains. The real damage started to sink in. It'd been quite a heavy weekend, but I could just about remember where I'd been. Let's all sing together now. 'Cause I started the night with all my friends and I ended up alone. Oh yes, I started out so happy. Now I'm hungover and down. I stood on a street corner and I felt a little sick. It was about then that I realized I was halfway through the first day of the week. Thanks a lot. Ooh, that's nice. All right, so did everybody catch the wonderful Joshua English kicking things off tonight? Props to the driest motherfucker, the Bill Murray of folk right there. And then we got, then we had Jacob Golden, who's lovely. This is great. I get to say words and people say woo afterwards. It's brilliant. And then there was Jonah Mantangle, who I love deeply. So deeply, in fact, that I wrote the following song about him. There's so much homoeroticism on this tour, it's almost fucking insane. This song's got a secret chorus, so if you don't like the real one, you can sing the secret one. This song's called Romantic Fatigue, goes like this. I have to admit that I am one of the many who thought that a guitar could win him a lady. My teenage years, they were a feminine drought, and I thought that a serenade would help out. It seemed to be working for a couple of years. I wrote a few songs and they wrote a few tears. When I hit my 20s, it ran out of steam. I seemed to be suffering from romantic fatigue, and I never know which song I should play her. Each melody is memory of an old forgotten failure. Just the way guitar tonight to do what I do. Remember, I probably didn't write this song for you. So here it comes, the secret chorus. You ready? In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lions sleep tonight. So as I've mentioned, the shelf life was short, the scheme wasn't working, despite what I thought. The ladies all left me alone in the end, so I had to switch all the names around and then sing it again. And every lifelong love and every best friend slipped away into the past. Take my words with caution, I can't pretend that you're the first. Won't be the last, no, 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 no. Never know which song I should play her. Each melody is memory of a not forgotten failure. So when I get out my guitar tonight to do what I do, remember I probably didn't write this song. No, I certainly didn't write this song. No, I never wrote a song for you. Thank you. Right. I don't really have a set list. I'm sort of making this up as I go, which doesn't instantly mean it's a request set before you fucking start. I'm going to play a cover now, and the thing that's inspired me to play it is the presence of my friend Ben, who's stood in front of me looking embarrassed now. Basically, I nicked the idea of doing this cover off Ben, brazenly. And if anyone hasn't heard Ben Marwood's stuff, you should fucking check it out, or else I'll cut off your legs. Anyway, this is a song you'll probably know. Enjoy. Smeared black ink, your palms are sweaty, and I'm barely listening to Lost Demon. I'm staring at the asphalt, wondering what's buried underneath where I am. Where my badge, vinyl sticker with big block letters adhering to my chest, and it tells me where to stand. I am a visitor here, I am not permanent, and the only thing keeping me dry is it seems so out of context in a gaudy apartment complex. A stranger with your door key explaining that I'm just visiting, and I am finally seeing I was the one worth leaving. That I was the one worth leaving, and the district sleeps alone tonight after the bars turn out their lights and send the auto swerving into the loneliest evening. And I am finally seeing I was the one worth leaving. I was the one worth leaving. Wasn't that fun? So there's a... I'm actually going to raise this. He's not like that. There's an argument that's been going on this tour between me and Jonah, right? I don't think you mentioned this in the set. Now, basically what happened is that I posited the idea that Iron Maiden were better than The Who, right? Okay, hold on. I'm going somewhere with this. Obviously, I like The Who, and I recognise that they're a very influential band and everything else, and I'd love to sit down and listen to a record, but personally, for me, galloping bass lines and songs about goblins does the trick, right? Love it more. But I'm interested in... Jonah told me that I must be killed slowly for this opinion. It's very, very liberal and forgiving of him. But essentially, what we've been doing... I correct myself. What I've been doing is having a bit of a woo kind of ometer going on every night. So let's have a woo if you're into The Who. And let's have a woo if you're into Iron Maiden. I'm starting to see a trend. And the trend is that the trend is more people, shut up. More people, listen, you're just bitter because I'm as tall as you sitting down on the stool than you are standing up. Anyway, right. The point is, every night... Oh, fucking hell, he's coming for the stage now. I was about to back you up.
But lying on our backs, I'm taller.
I was about to be nice and back you up.
Yeah, let's be nice.
What I was going to say was every night, more people cheer for The Who. Right, but the people who cheer for Maiden generally have deeper voices and slightly more mania in the kind of...
That's because the people that still like Maiden are dying off every day.
Like me. I die a little every day on tour with you.
I die a little when we go away from each other.
Oh, darling. I die a little when you come back. We should be a double act, eh?
I die a little when you come.
Right, anyway.
So dark. Are we going to sing together later?
Later.
Okay.
Later we're going to sing together.
Hey, that's Frank Turner.
But not yet. Anyway.
I like The Who better than Iron Maiden, but I like fucking Frank Turner better than both of them right now.
If you weren't a pussy, I'd say you were drunk. Go away. This whole argument started because of the next song I'm about to play, which is a new tune, which is called Substitute. And what it started from is, yes, I know there's a fucking Who song called Substitute. I'm not an idiot, all right? That's all I've been trying to say. And we're going to stop talking bollocks now, and I'm going to play this song, and it goes like this. First girl that I loved, she was a fair and faithful fighter. She smoldered with a will to save the world. I wanted so to help her, yet I stood shoulder to shoulder on the front lines with my visionary girl. I wish that she had cared for me, but in the end her ideologies occupied the fortress of her heart. I wrote her 15 songs, but still we had to part. And if music was the food of love, then I'd be a fat romantic slob. Music, well, it's my substitute for love. The last girl that I loved, she was a low and lusty liar. She set my heart on fire but made me choke. Her beauty was a sight to see, but she didn't save it all for me. I found other fires by following the smoke. I wish that she had either cared for me or let me be, but she chased me from my mind and from my home. I wrote her 16 songs, but I ended up alone. And if love is really all that we need, then even all my singing is never gonna save me. Music, well, it's my substitute for love. I've had many different girls inside my bed, but but only one or two inside my head. These days I cuddle up to my guitar instead. But oh, what I would give, not to stumble but to really fall in love. And I could substitute my singing for the sound of someone sleeping next to me. Thanks. So, I told this little story the other night, but none of you were there, and it was a good one, so I'm going to tell it again. We were in Scotland on this tour recently, and I love Scotland. It's a cool place, always have a good time. But, woo! All right, Scotland! Yeah! Cool. Anyway, as much as I love Scotland, as we crossed over the border from England to Scotland, Scotland to England, even on the A68, there was a small cheer of approval from me and the tour manager, the only English people in the van, I'm sad to say. Anyway, the reason I mention this is that having grown up with kind of sort of leftism and internationalism and all that sort of crap, the done thing was to completely fucking hate the place you were from, because any sort of like smack of any sort of liking England was like, you're a racist, you're a nationalist, blah, blah, blah. And that's bollocks, obviously. Basically, this place is all right, do you know what I mean? London's kind of my second home after Hampshire, and I lived here for like 6-7 years. And I fucking love the place. So that's what this song's about. It's about how it's actually okay to like the place that you're from. This song's called Nashville, Tennessee. And if you know it, I'd like you to sing the guitar solo using the medium of going woo, like that. All right, so I'm serious, and I fucking don't forget it. It's only halfway through the song. All right, here we go. From the heart of the southern downs to the northeast London reservoirs, from the start the landscape must sound before I'd ever been to America. And if I knew anybody who played pedal steel guitar, and get them in my band, and then my band would get real far. But I was raised in Middle England, not in Nashville, Tennessee, and the only person in my band is me. A simple scale on my new guitar, and a punk rock sense of honesty. I cannot fail when I've come this far, with no knowledge of Midwest geography. And if I knew anywhere where I could drive in a straight line for hours through the desert, I'd drive for hours at a time. But I was raised in Middle England, not in Nashville, Tennessee, and the only person in this car is me. And yes, I'm in 4/4 time, and yes, I use cheap rhymes, but I try to make sound my own. No, I don't break new ground. Many have traveled this sound, but I try to make sound like home. Do the solo, come on. I've been to Texas State. I didn't think it was all that fucking great. And Nebraska is just a bunch of songs. Holloway and Hampshire is where I belong. And I don't know anybody who plays pedal steel guitar, or the city roads are twisted, and I do not own a car. I was raised in Middle England, not in Nashville, Tennessee. And the only thing I'm offering is me. Thanks. Thank you very much. So, the reason I'm playing lots of new songs today is that I am going into the studio to record my second album at the end of this tour. And I tested it with a thermometer and a tape measure and found out that it's 14.7 times better than my first album, which is nice. But anyway, yeah, so that's why I'm playing lots of new songs. This next tune generated some bona fide hate mail the other day from someone called Lauren, 28, from Middlesbrough, who wasn't very good at disguising her anonymous MySpace profile. It's a shame, really, isn't it? Anyway, she was a stupid fuck pig, but anyway, this song is about the fact that this song is about the fact that there's certain assumptions that come with growing up. I'm all in favour of growing up, sort of, you know, I'm rapidly turning into a grouchy old fucker who hates the youth for their small thieving hands and all that sort of thing. But there's certain assumptions that come with growing up which essentially involve ceasing to be interesting and doing tedious shit and pissing your life away. None of which I happen to agree with. So I thought I'd express this opinion in the form of song. In the meantime, is anyone up for a clap? Like a crowd participation. Not the round of applause is very nice. I was thinking more of a crowd participational kind of affair. But the thing about this, right, is that if you start doing this, you've got to finish it. There's nothing worse in the entire world, apart from genocide, than people starting a clap along and kind of giving up halfway through the second verse, all right? So I need a commitment from everybody here that you're actually going to keep doing this to the end if we start. Are you going to commit to that? Yeah! All right, the song's only like 3 minutes. Did someone say no? If you're not going to do it, it's only 3 minutes. Only 3 minutes of your life. Think of all the things you could do with 3 minutes. I love you too. That's one of the things we could do in 3 minutes. Woo! All right, so what I want you to do is I want to go... I want to clap along with this, all right? That's good. You got to do this for 3 minutes, all right? You ready for that shit? So keep it going. This song's called Photosynthesis. Well, I guess that I confess that I am finally getting old. Yeah, the latest music fads all passed me by and left me cold. Oh, there's teenage slang out there I won't pretend to understand. All my friends are getting married, mortgages and pension plans, and it's obvious my angry adolescent days are done. And I'm happy and I'm settled in the person I've become. But that doesn't mean I'm giving up and sitting out the game. Yeah, time may change a lot, but some things they stay the same. And I won't sit down, and I won't shut up. And most of all, yeah, I won't grow up. And I won't sit down, and I won't shut up. Most of all, yeah, I won't grow up. You're about a third of the way through, so keep going. Maturity's a wrapped up package deal, or so it seems. But no one really checks out what the small print really means. All your friends and lovers, colleagues always tell you that you will have to give up on your dreams and yeah, be bored and unfulfilled. Oh, but no one's yet explained to me exactly what's so great about pissing 50 years away on something that you hate. About meekly shuffling down the path of mediocrity. Well, if that's your road, then take it, but it's not the road for me. And I won't sit down, and I won't shut up. But most of all, yeah, I won't grow up. And I won't sit down, and I won't shut up. But most of all, yeah, I won't grow up. eyes, then you'll deserve every hour of your sleepless nights that you waste wondering when you're gonna die. So keep going. This is the quiet bit before the end loud bit. So I'll play and you sing the perfect way for the evening to begin. I'll play and you sing the perfect way for the evening to begin. And I won't sit down and I won't shut up, and most of all, yeah, I won't grow up. I won't sit down and I won't shut up, and most of all, yeah, I won't grow up. Yes! We did it together, like a special edition of Record Breakers. All right, so you've been very patient while I play obscure and new songs and all that type of shit, so now I'm going to play some songs you probably know. But before I do that, I'm going to have a drink of whiskey. So, here's a song about murder. This song's called Worst Things Happen at Sea. Honestly, relax, my dear, it's clear that we are done. It doesn't take a scientist to figure out that one. It's obvious the way you move and the way you hold your head, the way you hide your pretty eyes and shift across the bed. You say worse things happen at sea. I say worse things have happened to me. Well, honestly, I'll be fine. This isn't my first time. I've taken blows before, and every time I have survived. You made it clear you didn't care, you never did pretend. And in the end, at least you never try to fuck my friends. You say worse things happen at sea. I say worse things have happened to me. Bitter eyes, the bedroom floor, and we're not gonna talk anymore. Well, honestly, it doesn't matter. I know better than to cry over spilled milk, wasted effort, spoiled plans. We're adults here, so shed no tears. I'm sure we can be friends. I'll nod and smile and watch you in the arms of other men. You say worse things happen at sea. I say worse things have happened to me. Bitter eyes, the bedroom floor, and we're not gonna talk anymore. We got nothing to talk for. Once the honesty, it has a much escape, and I hope you're doing fine. It's me, I'm doing fucking great, and I wouldn't want to waste another second of your time. I know my place, I know your face, so you and yours all keep to mind. You say worse things happen at sea. I say worse things have happened to me. Bitter eyes to the bedroom floor, and we're not gonna talk anymore. We got nothing to talk for, and you got nothing to be sorry for, and I don't care for. worst thing that's happened to me. I guess worse things happen at sea. Thanks. I very, very, very nearly dropped my pick during that song, which would have been unmitigated environmental disaster. Anyway, my friend Johnny's here someone this evening. Where? Woo? There he is! Hey, look at his lovely face. The front of his head. Anyway, Johnny's birthday is today, and he's being 16. Bouncers on the ready. Yeah, it's Johnny's birthday today, and I asked him to request a song earlier in the hope that he'd request something I wasn't going to play anyway. But he failed me by requesting a song I was always going to play. I mean, seriously, do you know what I mean? You go and see Europe, they're going to play the final countdown. You come and see me, I'm going to play this. Anyway, do sing along, and this song's for Johnny. It goes like this. I was 16, I cut myself a mohawk because I wanted to walk the walk and not just talk the talk. But it was a bit of a disaster because I did the sides with kitchen scissors because I didn't have any clippers and I didn't want to use a beard trimmer. I've made that mistake before. When you got home, you didn't want to talk about what I'd done. You said I let you down and fucked around when I was only having fun. With the way that you've been lately, you've no right to scream and shout. You and I, we've got a lot that we need to talk about. What's the point in making vows that you're never going to keep? A lifetime lying awake means you never get to sleep. And all the promises you've made, they were painful and untrue. Of all the things you do, they reflect what's on you. We all have our own devices for handling midlife crises. Usually involves a motorbike and some suspicious fashion decisions. But you choose to stave off grey hairs by lamely hacking at the sides with lies and with flimsy alibis. These suspicious expeditions. When you get home, I don't want to talk about what you've done. Yeah, you let me down and you fucked around, but I guess you were having fun. With the way that I've been lately, I've no right to scream and shout. You and I, we've got a lot that we need to talk about. What's the point in making vows that you're never going to keep? A lifetime lying awake means you never get to sleep. And all the promises we've made were painful and untrue. And for all the things you do, they reflect what's on you. You always told me Father's Day was just another way of selling Hallmark greeting cards. 20 years of waking sleep and flying through your teeth meant every Father's Day spent join it. Louder. What's the point in making vows that you're never going to keep? I could try to keep you up, but you keep on falling asleep. And all the promises we've made, they were painful and untrue. And for better or for worse, I am turning into you. Thanks. Fucking hell. Thank you very much. So, I'm going to play one more new song tonight, and I'm going to play it next. And this is a song about old, boring, jaded fuckers like me getting drunk and talking about how much fun it was when we used to believe in stuff. And this song, the title of this song is probably going to be the title of the album too. This song's called Love, Iron Song. It's about getting really pissed and then, like, fighting cops. Because that's what politics is really about. Seriously, ask all the guys at the G8 summits. Let's drop acid and fight some pigs, man. Seriously, they're real pigs. Been there. All right, this song's called Love, Iron Song and goes like this. Well, a teacher of mine once told me that life was just a list of disappointments and defeats, and you could only do your best. And I said, well, that's a fucking cop-out. You're just tossed up and you're tired, and when I get to your age, well, I won't be such a coward. But these days I sit at home, known to shout at my TV, and punk rock didn't live up to what I'd hoped that it could be, and all the things that I believed with all my heart when I was young are just coasters for beers and clean surfaces for drugs. And I've packed all my pamphlets with my Bibles at the back of the shelf. Well, it was bad enough, the feeling on the first time it hit, when you realized your parents had let the world all go to shit, and that the values and ideals for which many had fought and died had been killed off in the committees and left to die by the wayside. But it was worse when we turned to the kids on the left and got let down again by some poor excuse for protest. Yeah, by idiot fucking hippies in 50 different factions who were locked inside some kind of 60s battle reenactment. And I hung up my banner in disgust and I head for the door. Oh, but once we were young and we were crass enough to care. But I guess you live and learn. We won't make that mistake again. Oh, but surely just for one day, yeah, we could fight and we could win. And if only for a little while, we could insist on the impossible. Well, we've been a good few hours drinking, so I'm gonna say what everyone's thinking. If we're stuck on this ship and it's sinking, then we might as well have a parade. Because if it's still gonna hurt in the morning, and our better plans yet to get forming, then where's the harm spending an evening in manning the old barricades? So come on, old friends, to the street. Let's be 1905, but not 1917. Let's be heroes, let's be martyrs, let's be radical thinkers who never have to test drive the least of their dreams. Let's ride into the valley like the old Light Brigade, and we'll celebrate our deaths with a nationwide parade and divide up the world into the damned and the saved, and straighten our backs and we won't be afraid. So come on, let's be young, let's be crass enough to care. Let's refuse to live and learn. Let's make all our mistakes again. Oh, and darling, just one day, yeah, we could fight and we could win, and if only for a little while. Everything is possible. Leave the morning to the morning. Yeah, pain can be killed with aspirin tablets and vitamin pills, but memories of hope and of glorious defeat are a little bit harder to beat. Thanks. Woo! All right. So, I'm going to lay it on the line for you, people of London, right? I've got 2 more songs that I'm obviously going to play. Come on, I mean, no, seriously. No, okay. Hold on. Right, okay, that was obvious assumption number 1. Obvious assumption number 2, I'm not going to play any songs by a certain unnamed hardcore band that does not now exist. And hasn't for fucking ages. Sorry. You know, the simple fact of that, right, I don't want to sound rude, but the simple fact is we toured our fucking asses off and we played fucking everywhere. And if you missed it then, it's not really our fault, do you know what I mean? So, sorry, that's just how it is. Anyway, so I've got 2 more songs, but there's time is in abundance this evening. So if there's any song, I'm going to do 1 request song now. If there's any one song... Huh? Huh? I can't hear what anybody's saying. Jumba. All right, listen, I've had a sensible suggestion from over here. Then I actually heard what it was and everything. So this is an old song. This is a song about staying awake all night and the terrible, terrible things that happen at 10 o'clock in the morning. People say the witching hour is supposed to be, what, like 1 a.m.? It's just like, what kind of fucking pussy are you? Jesus Christ. I go out at 1 a.m. Witching hour is when you find yourself leaving for the club at kind of like 8 o'clock in the morning, and then it's just like, oh, fuck. My grandparents wouldn't be proud. Anyway, right, so this... the only problem with this, I have to remember how it goes. But we'll get there, together, believe. This song's called I Really Don't Care What You Did in Your Gap Year, and I haven't played it for about 1 million years. It goes like this. And of course, this is for Rob over here, who incidentally was instrumental in me getting the guitar that I'm playing now for free. Which is pretty sweet. Although, that's not the best thing that's ever happened to me to do with music. The best thing that's ever happened to me to do with music was when I got a free go on the Scarborough Ghost House. Seriously, I'm not even joking. There's like this ghost house in Scarborough on the beach, and the guy who works there was a fan of mine. He gave me a free go. I was like, fuck, this is why I joined the band when I was a kid. I'm going to play this song now. We were only supposed to go out for the night. It's been a few hours now since it got light. We're a mess. And the worst part is we couldn't care less. And there's water in the ashtray and there's ash in the sink. The carpet's mostly soaking and there's nothing to drink. We're a state. We're starting to regret staying awake. And I'll pay for my sins when I get paid. I'll stop talking to girls when I get laid. I should have gone home when I could, but I stayed. But then I never was the clever one. I'm kind of remembering how this song goes as it goes, which is lots of fun. So we were only supposed to go out for the night. I did my best to go home, but in the end I lost the fight with myself. To be honest, I was hoping I'd go home with someone else. And right about now I should be starting my day. Instead I am sat here downing dregs of yesterday, all the while trying to prop up both ends of my smile. And I'll pay for my sins when I get paid. I'll stop talking to girls when I get laid. I should have gone home when I could, but I stayed. But then I never was the clever one, but always the one to not see that I've done. And I need to go home and get to sleep, and always the last to see the moment has passed. And I need to admit my defeat. And I'm lonely. There, I said it. Yes, I'm lonely, but it's hard to admit it when everybody thinks that you're fine all the time and you're not. So we were only supposed to go out for the night. But who am I kidding? Yeah, try as I might, I can't stop until I squeezed out every last drop. And I'll pay for my sins when I get paid. But I don't have a penny to my name. I'll stop talking to girls when I get laid. But I haven't had a shower for days. I should have gone home when I could, but I stayed. And so I stay up alone and set off on my own to the station where I catch the first train. Thanks. That was really good fun. Right. So, 2 more songs and then the special treat, which I'll explain. Anyway, I want to do a big shout out to my friend Evan, who's here this evening, who's sort of one of my best pals. And I'm not saying this just because I love him dearly. I'm also saying it because he's going to fucking hate what I'm about to say next. Let's be friends forever. He's called me a cunt already. Right, there we go. This is a song about pandas. And about how they're a fucking retarded evolutionary dead end. And what a worthwhile thing it is that thousands of charities and government organisations pour billions of pounds every year into retaining this fat, fucking useless piece of animal on the basis that it looks kind of cuddly and a little bit like a teddy bear. And this song's called Thatcher Fuck the Kids, and it goes like this. Sorry, I had to get that off my chest. Whatever happened to childhood? We're all scared of the kids in our neighborhood. They're not small, charming and harmless. They're a violent bunch of bastard little shits. And anyone who looks younger than me makes me check for my wallet and my phone and my keys. And I'm tired of being tired out, always being on the lookout for thieving kids. We're all wondering how we ended up so scared. Spent 10 long years teaching our kids not to care. And that there's no such thing as society anyway. And all of the rich folks act surprised when no sense of community dies. But you just close your eyes to the other side of all the things that she did. Come on, London, show me you're the best. That was pretty good. Maybe not the best, but you got two more bites of the cherry, as it were. So it seems a little bit rich to me, the way the rich only ever talk of charity. In times like the 70s, a broken down economy meant even the upper tier was needing some help. But as soon as things look brighter, yeah, the grin gets wider and the grip gets tighter. And for every teenage tracksuit mugger, there's a guy in a suit who wouldn't lift a finger for anybody else. We're all wondering how we ended up so scared. Spent 10 long years teaching our kids not to care. There's no such thing as society anyway. And all of the rich folks act surprised when no sense of community dies. But you just close your eyes to the other side of all the things that she did. Second attempt, come on. That's a fucking kiss. That was great. You've got a generation raised on the welfare state, enjoyed all its benefits and did just great. But as soon as they were settled as the richest of the rich, they kicked away the ladder, told the rest of us that life's a bitch. And it's no surprise that all the fuck-ups didn't show up until the kids are grown up. But when no one ever smiles or ever helps a stranger, is it any fucking wonder our society's in danger of collapse? That was neat. So all the kids are bastards, but don't blame them, yeah, they learn by example. Blame the folks who showed the future for the highest bid. That's right, one more time. That's your fucking A. Right, I've got one more song, and then there's the special treat, which we'll get to. Anyway, basically, I've got 3 things to say before this song. The first of which is I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight. It's a real fucking pleasure to come back to London, have a good crowd out. It's fucking great. And in particular, I want to thank everyone from Extra Mile Records who's here tonight because, you know, to be honest, okay, I'm going to be honest with you now because I feel like an honest guy. Everybody, all these sort of bands like Status Quo or whatever going about, oh, doing it for the fans. And it's kind of like, you know, it's cool that people are into what I do, but the simple fact is the people at Extra Mile are the people that allow me and Jonah and Josh to put out records in this country. And they put a fuck of a lot of effort in, and they don't get that much return from it. So let's hear a big fucking round of applause for Extra Mile Records. People like them that ensure that we don't all have to be fight star. Second thing is the capitalist bit. We've got t-shirts, we've got CDs, we've got softcore CDs, we've got everything else. Go and give us all of your money. In the meantime, I was supposed to have a DVD on sale here tonight. I don't because I'm a loser. But you can pre-order it off my website for dirt cheap, so do that instead. It was cheaper than I was planning on selling it tonight. So, I've out-scammed myself. Anyway, this is a song I thought I'd finish every set with until the day I died, but we have the special treat afterwards. And I'm going to say one thing before I play it, which is that a friend of mine died recently, good friend of mine, and she died young, and it was a fucking tragedy, and it shouldn't have happened. But the one thing I'll take away from the whole experience was the fact that she grabbed life and she lived the fuck out of it. She didn't care what other people thought or what the fucking history or a pension plan or whatever the fuck, what anybody else thought about it. She grabbed life and she fucking lived it more than I have and more than anybody else I know has. So that's the only fucking way to live. This song is for Lexi. It's always going to be for fucking Lexi. That's the only way to live at the end of the day. This song's called The Ballad of Me and My Friends. Do join in. And like I say, there's a special treat coming up after this. Everybody's got themselves a plan. And everybody thinks they'll be the man, including the girls, the musicians who lack the friends to form a band, the singer-songwriters, the rest of us are DJs or official club photographers. And tonight I'm playing another Nabucco show. So I'm going through my phone book, texting everyone I know. Quite a few I don't, whose numbers found their way into my phone. But they might come along anyway. You never really know. None of this is going anywhere. Pretty soon we'll all be old. No one left alive will really care about our glory days when we sold our souls. But if you're all about the destination, then take a fucking flight. We're going nowhere slowly, but we're seeing all the sights. Yes, I'm definitely going to hell, but I'll have all the best stories to tell. Okay, so we got one more song. Hang around. We get that microphone working? Hold on. Okay, I'd like to invite up on stage the other people who played tonight. So let's hear it for Jacob, Jonah, and Josh. They might be American, their names might begin with J, but we're still friends. There's a mic for you guys over there. I'd like to say a special thank you to Jacob. I met him for the first time on this tour, and he's the only fucker on this tour who drinks properly.
I just got given a little flask of excellent Polish bison grass vodka.
And then you tried to make me drink it.
And well, because I don't really drink, and so I said, I'm happy to have this gift, but
You're
Frank is even happier.
Yeah, who gave out the Polish vodka?
Just
it's gone? Or what? No, it's not inside me yet. Not all of it.
Say hi to your liver for me, okay, buddy?
Hi, liver.
All right.
All right, we did a radio session earlier today, and we did an impromptu cover, and it was so mind-blowingly incredible. And we're going to do it again, just for you guys. It's got nothing to do with the fact that we're drunk, or at least two of us are. Anyway.
You sing too, because that's the whole point.
I should point out at this stage, just a cover I used to play and swore I'd never play again, but something about having three Americans kind of touching me makes everything okay. Anyway, you all know this, and you should all sing along. This is a final thanks to everyone for coming down, and we'll see you all again next time we play in London, huh?
If you're too cool to sing this with us, you're hopeless.
This is about 17 times better than the version I used to do. You can dance, you can jive, you're having the time of your life. Yeah, see that girl and watch that scene, digging the dancing queen. Ooh. It's Thursday night and the lights are low. Looking out for a place to go. when
Yeah,
they
you hear
play
the
the folk music, everything is fine. You came in looking for a king. Anybody could be that guy. The night is right and the music's high. Move on to another. Anyone will do. You're in the mood for a dance. And when you get the chance, everybody, come on! You are the dancing queen, young and sweet, only 17.
Which is old enough.
Dancing queen, feel the beat from the tambourine, oh yeah! You can dance, you can dance, you're having the time of your life. Yeah, see that girl and watch that scene, singing the dancing queen. You're a teaser, you turn them on. You set them burning, and then you're gone. Like with gratitude, yeah? Sorry, that was a bit below the belt.
It's a true story.
Move on to another. Anyone will do. Join my band. You're in the mood for dance. And when you get the chance,
Frank is the shaggy
queen, young and sweet, only 17. Dancing queen, feel the beat from the tambourine, oh yeah. You can dance, you can dive, having the time of your life. Yeah, see that girl and watch that scene, singing the dancing queen. Singing the dancing queen. Da, 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 da. Digging the dancing queen. Thanks a lot, London. Good night.
soft coat.
Fucking Frank Turner! Woo! Jonah Matringa!
Joshua English, Jacob Gola, and fucking you lot. Best show of the tour, hands down.